Welcome into the End the Money podcast for Saturday, December 8th. I'm Tom Leach along with Jim Goodman, Keeneland's Director of Wagering Development. We're heading out to Los Alamitos for our Pick 4 podcast for this weekend. It includes a Grade 1, the Starlet for 2-year-old fillies. There's another Grade 1, Jim, on that card, the Cash Call Futurity for the 2-year-old boys, and it's a small group. They kept it out of the Pick 4, and looks like it's a Baffert day, right?
It looks that way. It's going to be interesting, though, to see which one of the ones likes stretching out better. Neither one's been a mile and 16th, but Improbable is going to be the big favorite. 93 buyer in the Street Sense last time out at Churchill on Breeders' Cup Friday. So he looked unbelievable that day. So they're going to put him in the big boys here, along with Mucho Gusto. Another Baffert, and Talamo's going to ride, and Talamo's been doing well for Baffert lately, 28% with Baffert's horses. Of course, that's probably low since he's been working a 35, 36% clip out there. And then Richard Mandela has a horse called Extra Hope, that ran well in the Bob Hope last time out after breaking spade and stretching out of the mile 16th. So it's the only horse that's been in the mile 16th. But there's a little bit of maybe a little competition for Baffert, but looks like Baffert and Baffert to me.
Well, let's go to the 7th race and take a look at the Grade 1 Starlet as well for 2-year-old fillies going a mile and a 16th. And I was first drawn to the Baffert in here, Mother, who was another nice winner during Breeders' Cup week at Churchill. And then there's a nice first-time starter for Doug O'Neill, sold it, or not first-time starter, but first-out winner. And then you got Oxy Lady, who won a graded stake up at Aqueduct with the biggest speed figure in the race. But then I came back to Vibrance, and that's who I ended up going with. It's got two-turn races in Grade 1 company under her belt. Third in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile filly, and Restless Rider, who got dusted pretty well in there, came back to run big at Churchill. Then two back, she was second in a Grade 1 at Santa Anita. The buyer in the Breeders' Cup race was her best, 84, and she's had 3 good works off of that, and Flavian Pratt signs on to ride. So for all those reasons, I took Vibrance in here and thought with the Baffert horse, I might get a little bit of better price than I should. So Vibrance for me in the Starlet. How about you?
I'm right with you. I think the Bafferts, Mother, and Chasing Yesterday are going to take all the money. But they haven't run against the horses that Vibrance has. And that Breeders' Cup Juvenile filly, if you go back and look at it, she got off to a bad start. She's in the inside, where it wasn't that great that day, and she's 35-1, and she finishes 6 lengths behind the winner, and Restless Rider just barely beat her down the stretch. So I think she's faced better competition. I was also in Arizona for a conference this week, and I saw one of the owners are Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners. I don't know what kind of piece he's got, but he was talking about flying out there, that they feel really good about her. So you're going to get 5-2, I think, because I think Mother and Chasing Yesterday are going to split the Baffert money, and it may be foolish to bet against him, but I'm going to do the same thing. Oxy Lady, pretty good step up from a Grade 3 at Aqueduct. Declan Cannon goes out there to ride. I think that speed figure from a 69 to a 94, I think she's got bounce written all over. So I think Vibrance would be my pick in here as well, mostly because of value.
You know, Oxy Lady beat a horse called Enliven that was a big favorite last weekend, and I went back and looked at that race, and she ran 5th, I think, at the Demoiselle. So, would have felt better about Oxy Lady had Enliven come back and run better. So, yeah, I'm not sure about that speed figure and handling that as well. It's kind of why I ended up getting off her to Vibrance. The Pick 4 starts in the 6th race with a starter allowance. You've got an allowance optional claiming in the 8th, and a maiden claimer in the 9th, and those last two are both at a mile, which is one of those short runs to the first turn kind of deals. So tell me what your Pick 4 ticket looks like.
One thing you ought to look at when you look at the Pick 4 on Saturday, look at the times from Friday, because we're recording this on Friday morning, and on Thursday there was a low-level allowance race where they went 107-3 out there, I think. So they've got the track pretty quick. It's a fast track anyway, so maybe inside speed, I'm not sure. But take a look at Friday's races before you handicap them. So we're at a little bit of a disadvantage since we're taking this early Friday morning. But first leg, I'm going to go deep here. I really didn't have a strong opinion. It's a 5.5 furlong starter allowance for horses that have started for 8,000 or less. I went 6 deep in here. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10. Gemini Journey on the inside. Christy Jackson for Bob Hess. Lucky Student would probably be my pick for Jerry Hollendorfer. Been around a long time, got 9 wins. 8-year-old mare, still won an $8,000 race the last time out at about 5 1/4. So I'm going to go deep in there with 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10. Second leg is the Starlet, and I'm going to go 3 deep in there. I'm going to use both Baffords. I'm not going to let him beat me, even though I did like Vibrance to win it. I'm going to go 1, 2, 6. 8th race is an allowance optional claimer, and I'm going to take a little bit of a stand here on the last 2 races since I went deep early. King Abner, the 4, is a 4-time winner with 2 good efforts at Los Al. Won his first attempt at a mile distance last out at Del Mar. So a couple of things there, experience over the track plus a good record at the mile distance where he stretched out last time and won for fun at Del Mar. So I'm going to take King Abner in there, but I'm also going to use Mercer Island, the 5, a 5-win horse, and then Kyle Moore, the 9, with a little back class for Pratt. Been running against much better. So I'm going to go 4, 5, 9 in there. And then the last race, I am going to take a stand. That's a maiden claimer in it, but it looks like that Bitter Ring Home, the 4, and the 9 Sterling's Temple are the 2 standouts in here. So I'm going to go with those 2. Sterling's Temple got claimed last time out for $20,000, and Gennaro Vallejo is 38% off the claim. So that's a stat that just jumped out at me. The 4, Bitter Ring Home, has the best speed figures, and I think the favorite last 2 out was getting an apprentice jockey. A lot of things pointing to the 4 as well. So I'm going to go 4, 9. So my pick 4 is $54. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10 with 1, 2, 6 with 4, 5, 9 with 4, 9.
I am going to go 4 deep in the first leg. The 5 Lucky Student would be my win pick for this off the team of Hollendorfer and Van Dyke coming off a win. But the 4 is improved with a new trainer, so I'm going to use that one, plus the 7 and the 9. So 4, 5, 7, 9 in that first leg. In the Starlet, I'm going to go 3 deep with Vibrance, Mother, and I'm going to throw in Oxy Lady just off that 94 buyer in case she runs back to it. The next leg, I'm going 1, 2, 4, 5, and that is Croatian, Dia de Pago, King Abner, and Mercer Island. And the 1's a Baffert and the 2's a Saren horse, and they're both thrown on the inside. I'm going to lean heavily on post position in the races at this 1 mile distance. And, I say that in the 9th, I am going to include the 9 horse for the angle you mentioned. I don't like the post, but I'm going to include the 9. 4 Bitter Ring Home I'd lean heavier on that one. So 4, 5, 7, 9 with 1, 2, 4 with 1, 2, 4, 5 with 4, 9. And that should be, I think, $60. $48. If you want to go one more in that last race, I would include the 6 Bartlett Hall, only because you got John Sheriff's, and there's not a lot of the strongest barns in there. You got Drysdale on the 4. You got the angles you mentioned on the 9. John Sheriff's is obviously a very sharp trainer, and if you want to go one more, I'd include the 6 Bartlett Hall. But I'm going to stick with the 4, 9 in the last leg, and hopefully make it 2 in a row. I hit pick 4 for 360 last week when we looked at the Aqueduct card. So hopefully one of it, between the 2 of us, you'll get another pick 4 to boost your kitty for Christmas shopping here in December. For Jim Goodman, I'm Tom Leach, and this is the In the Money podcast for KeenelandSelect.com.